Alrighty. You happy with where your mic is?
Yeah, I think so. You tell me if you reckon I need to move it closer.
No, you sound good. You sound
sound
real
all right. Yep.
Alrighty. Welcome back, guys, to another episode of EVERYMAN CHATS, presented by Wacker. Now, this would be the third filmed episode. For you guys who are listening, go and check out the YouTube page. This will be a full filmed video as well. So check out both bloody platforms. See what you think. But look, very special guest this time. I've been wanting to show you guys like an in-depth talk to this bloke for a long time, and I'm glad I've locked him down. I've managed to bribe him with a platter, and I think we're all good to go. Very, very special bloke to me. I've grown a very bloody close friendship, haven't we, mate? We've come a lot closer with this camping stuff, haven't we?
Well, I remember being, like a little kid and you were in your teens.
Yep.
I was probably like 6 and you were in your teen years.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, Pete, he's my older cousin, cool. Like, whenever he'd come around, oh, Pete, let's do this.
No,
and
look
then,
at you like that.
And then now it's just like, oh, fuck, just one of my mates, eh? Like, yeah.
Tell us what you really think. I'm glad you kept that pretty G. It's my cousin Jarrad. Very, very special bloke to me, but I've been wanting to talk to you for a long time, like a proper chat like this. How you feeling, man?
Good, mate. Good, yeah.
Yeah? Not nervous or anything?
Oh, to be honest, not really. Good. So if you asked me a year ago, 100%, you know what I was like in front of the cameras on trips before.
Yeah,
I
cool.
sort of like duck away out of the corner, but now I'm so used to you doing it on trips. To be honest, I've said to people before, like, Pete does so well at filming trips, you don't realise he's actually doing stuff.
Yeah,
so
right.
You can just go, about your way as you would. Obviously, if there's stuff that you don't want on camera, you...
Exactly, dude, 100%.
But you capture it from behind, which is awesome. Like, yeah.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I remember Justin saying it on our tinny trip that, like, he doesn't notice me filming, and I always want it to be like that, man.
100%.
You get the better, like, content that way.
It doesn't take away the fun that you're usually having. Like, heaps of people asked me before, like, oh, what's it like going on a trip with Pete? Are you stopping all the time doing this? Like, does it get a bit, over the top? I'm like, oh, to be honest, I don't even realise he's doing it. Like, maybe every now and again, you'll be like, oh, can we just pull up for a sec, boys? Yeah, no drama's going to grab another beer out of the fridge.
That's
days.
Exactly the way I want you guys to all look at that. Next thing, shelters, let's crack open these shelters, mate.
Waiting for you.
Yeah. So I thought I'd mention real quick too that Jarrad's Ubered. Oh no, he hasn't Ubered. He's brought the truck around here as well. But he's organised a trip home. So this can be a proper. We can sort of get on it. This is great, mate. But there's so much I wanted to speak to you about. But first thing I reckon we should speak about is literally we've just in the last week and a bit just come back from a trip. I haven't even had a sip yet. Yeah. Sorry, man. Have you?
Yeah. Yep.
What's your favourite? You like the mid-strength of them, eh? The XPA or the IPA?
Yeah,
which one did you like?
The IPA and this one, the lager.
Yeah, I like the lager as well.
Yep.
Sorry, I had to wet my mouth, but I wanted to do a debrief and have a bit of a reminisce about this last trip that we did. Not even a week ago. This time last week, dude, we were packing up.
Yep.
We were packing to go on a trip to camp 2 days and 2 nights out of your brand new, new in your life, side by side buggy. Okay, God damn, so much runs through my head, man. Like I'll get into the specifics. General thoughts on the buggy.
Oh, I love it. Absolutely love it. Like, yeah, just suits me, Vic, and the kids down to a T. Like, I honestly haven't had it that long, but I couldn't picture not having it.
So good how we timed it, dude.
Yeah.
How we did the trip, and then we're doing the podcast now.
For sure.
It's great, because we're meant to do it beforehand.
Yep. No, that buggy, it's unbelievable where it actually goes. Like, put it in 4-wheel drive, like half the time, majority of the time it's in 2-wheel drive, but put it in 4-wheel drive, let alone you got the rear diff lock, that thing just grips and grips and grips and just keeps going. Like, I'll be honest, it'd be hard to bog that thing. We did bog it, but it'd be hard to have it somewhere that you actually couldn't get out of. Yeah,
but you also, halfway through the trip, you also started to, the common sense come in and you were like, shit, I realise I don't really have a snorkel on this.
Yeah. Yeah, no, yeah, 100%.
True.
After seeing the blokes in the US with them, they do. They've got snorkels that go over the top of the roof.
They're fucking insane, dude. How those engines can like run underwater. Any engine can run underwater. It still fucking bogs my mind.
Yep.
But yeah, all right. Let's go a bit deeper into it. So it started off. You gave me a drive when we unloaded, and for anyone listening or watching, I don't know if you guys have ever driven one of these things. It's like, well, we've grown up with quad. You've grown up specifically with quads and motorbikes. I'll get into that as well. But it's like a different experience driving this thing. It's like a mini Sierra, like a mini.
Literally,
would you say that?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
And it's a left-hand drive.
That caught me out so many times. I'm going to jump in the right-hand side. Like, you're like, what are you doing? Scoot over another couple of seats. Yeah, I'm in the right spot now. Let's go.
Yeah. Do you find it very deceiving how much room there is in it?
Yeah.
Well, shit, man.
Well, I don't know if it's maybe because it's more open than like obviously Sierra, unless you have the roof off.
Yep.
You've got the doors, the windows, everything like that.
Yep.
But this is all open. You can buy doors and windows and all that sort of shit for it. But I don't know, it felt bigger, like it feels roomy. And then you take photos of it and people don't realise how big it actually is until you're in person with it.
Breno, one of the guys who come on the trip with us, thought that it would fit behind your canopy on the truck.
Oh, and I wish it did. That'd be unreal, but it just, it doesn't. It's friggin' 3 metres long, 1,500 wide, and it's like bloody nearly 2 metres tall.
3 metres long, Jack?
Yeah.
Okay, that shocked me. Yep. But mind you look in that tray, dude, we fit a lot in there. Like, for example, my swag is, I'd say once I've packed it up and that, probably 1,100 wide, with all the extra padding and that.
Yeah.
Fit that beautifully.
Yep.
There's so much to talk. There is so much to talk about. You'll realise this. But, Oi, come on, tell us. So how much weight do you reckon was in the back? Guys, if you watch that video would have been well out by now. If you watch that video, you'll be able to sort of follow along with this conversation. You'll love it. Trust me, watch it, because it's something completely different.
At a guess, I think we roughly worked it out on that trip. But it was somewhere between 350, 450 kilos, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That we worked out, I think.
And I reckon for anyone listening would be like, whoa, that's a heap.
Yeah.
But it's rated to, what was it?
I think it was 650 the tray, and it can tow close to 1.2 tonne.
That's just insane, dude.
Yeah.
That is insane. And like you said, I can't wait to get it on the beach. Like, on the beach it'd be sick. But I can't ever see a point where you'll need the rear diff lock. I just can't see it unless it's hectic mud. Yep. But anything like beach and that, it's got the revs there, it's got the four-wheel drive as well, it's got the tyres. We didn't even let the tyres down.
And it's actually light. Like, it is a light rig. Obviously, with the weight in the back that we had, it's going to be a heavier rig.
Fuck, dude, how we didn't tip it?
Yeah. Well, that's what I thought. We had a fair bit of weight up top.
Yeah, man.
And with bringing the rack that I built all the way to the roof line to make the most of the space there.
Yeah.
I thought that it would be a bit top heavy. And don't get me wrong, it was when we got to one of those gnarly sections on the track. Where Pete was hanging off the side at one point and Breno and Shane were, pushing it sideways. But that was more because the track we were on, I had to sort of go off course a bit and then hit the track sideways, because if I hit the track sort of dead on, game over.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I was like, I've got to hit it sideways first and then tackle it from there. But it was sort of that steep already that it sort of rocked a bit, didn't it? And you had the camera at the time, and I said to Pete, you got to jump on the side, hang off this. And then Breno and Shane as well, they jumped off their quads and sort of held it till I got it to that right spot. Yeah. But that was something, even if I rocked up in a full drive, I would have gone, turn around.
Well, fuck, man.
Too hectic.
When you see a quad having to walk it through, when Breno had to walk it through, you're like, okay, this is a tricky one.
Yeah.
I still haven't. I've never seen you sort of look worried or anything like that. You still looked stupidly calm in that situation. And I actually got, guys, if you look on the video, I actually got the footage of you going boom, and then you stopped and then it tilted back.
Yeah.
Then you sort of looked up. you like looked up at me and you're like, you smiled and you're like, held calmly, you just, Pete, do you mind just jumping on the front corner there? You big fucking, you big bag of sand.
Nice big counterweight, you.
But honestly, how well did it hold? I mean, I was like looking back this week at editing it. You know, I sent you that the snippet or whatever. Yep. You know that puddle that I showed you going out of?
Yep.
Even that, like just a situation like that, how it didn't go over.
Well, I did think, like, even heading into those puddles, I thought, you know, there's those spots where once you see that puddle dried up, obviously, you know, some four-wheel drives have been through, dug massive ruts.
Yeah.
So you're sort of having to guess, unless you like progging sticks, which we did on a couple of spots.
And you can't do it for a puddle like that because it's so wide.
Yeah, unless you're getting in, which it was too cold. So I was sort of just point and go.
Yeah.
And, you know, a majority of the time, if you just head straight through the middle, right through to the other side, like direct yourself to the other side, you're usually all right.
Hit a rut that someone else, it's coming.
But yeah, I was worried like, oh shit, you know, you might slip off into one of those ruts, and they're usually pretty deep.
And you did,
you know, it did a bit, but you know, imagine it was even deeper. You could just lay that thing in the side. There goes all their stuff,
I know,
wet
battery box.
Yeah,
bye. Fuck yeah,
it did.
You don't think of that though, do you?
Nah.
You're just in the moment, and I remember you didn't even power it. You powered out at the end, but obviously you kept calm. Yeah,
I just thought, you're in it now. Even if you go back, it could go the same way.
Yeah.
So, yeah. You know, like take it easy, go forward a bit more, and go from there. It sort of leveled out towards the end. But
yeah, it did. Luckily,
in it too far now. It's just
another point. Remember, we were going along at maybe 60 k's an hour on this fence track.
Yep.
And all of a sudden, we hit two deep whoopies.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
How good did it handle that? The suspension on those things are fucking insane.
Yeah. I thought, no, we're going to lose
something.
The rack. Let's be honest, like the rack's only strapped down. I made it so you could strap it down
and remove it
if you weren't going to use it. But yeah, it held on. Like even, you know, you're relying on 2 clips.
Yeah.
Virtually. So if you want to tip up the tray, it's like sort of 2, as you
hooks.
would like. Yeah, 2 hooks that hook onto a bar.
Yep.
You know,
pretty self-explanatory.
What we hit, I was like, oh, that could easily come undone.
Yeah.
Enough force, come undone. Lose it, but it didn't. It all held on, so...
Very, very happy.
Right.
So do you have plans on changing anything with that the rack or doing another one? Because I remember Breno saying something about a alley rack.
Yeah, if I was using it all the time like that, you probably would go alley just to lighten it up.
Yep.
But in saying that, I haven't mucked around with the suspension at all.
I know.
Like, it's still a very new rig, so...
It is.
It's
How many hours?
It's got 80... It had 82 hours or something on it. Jesus. When we last checked on the trip.
Yep.
But yeah, we haven't adjusted suspension or anything. Like, that's all just starting to settle in a bit now after using it. I would put the cross braces in, which I didn't even think about, to be honest. I should have thought about that. More only because of the weight on the top. Yeah. If there was nothing on the top, it wouldn't have moved at all. But because we had weight on that top section...
Yeah, and you didn't know what I was going to pack either.
Yeah.
You know? And we had Nesky up there. Like, fuck. That was wild.
Yeah. There was a bit of weight there.
What a test, dude.
Yeah. It held up, so...
Yeah. Yeah, it did.
No, I wouldn't change much, mate. I'd put the cross braces in. But everything worked for us, eh? Like, had the light. Had the deep cycle battery.
The kitchen fold
down. We fit all our stuff. And we went overboard with stuff. We did. If we really wanted to...
Those stretchers didn't need to be in there. Oh, yours is perfect, actually, but I didn't need to take my stretcher. Yep. How much do you think that weighed?
The stretcher?
Yeah. It was a fair bit, man.
15 kilos or something? Yeah.
But that's not needed. You know what I mean?
No.
That water, though, I didn't... You know how we said at one point in the weekend...
Could get away with a 10, yeah. And then at the end, we were just about bang on. So,
shit.
I mean, we put out one of the fires on the last day.
Yeah, to use it up as well. That was a good idea as well.
Yeah.
But I love doing different experiences like that, man. Like, and I remember saying in the video that I'm very lucky to have a cousin like you who's so, like, I reckon everyone thinks you're a drug dealer. I said that in the video as well.
I think the neighbours think that too, yeah. Shocking for it.
But it's great that you have these toys, and I'm very honoured that you invite me along for that shit, because, it's like, not as I'm heavy enough as well. I bring all my cargo with me. But talking about, like, I reckon this was for later on this other question, but I only mentioned it at the last minute, talking about, you know, weight on the top and tipping and shit like that. I only added this point on at the end, so were you paranoid at all a little bit about the weight on top? Considering this, I also wanted you to tell me the story about your Troopy back in the day. Yeah. It's not the same Troopy though, is it, dude? As the one in the videos back in the... No, it is that one.
Yeah, it is. It's that one.
Shit, dude.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can you tell us that story about that? I reckon the listeners and the viewers will appreciate that, you know, what you've been through, because you've grown up with... Tell the whole story, you know, also about how you've grown up. I'll bring it back to, you know, the Lano days.
Yeah, or you start with that then.
Yeah, okay. That's a good idea, dude.
I'll go from there. Yeah.
So, when would you have... So, guys, you need to understand that Jarrad's grown up around... You've raced motocross and stuff like that back in the day.
Yep.
His whole family, so your uncle... I want to get on to speaking about my actual cousins, Darren, Brad, and Stephen, your uncles.
Yeah, so you're my second cousin.
You're
exactly.
Actually
their first cousin.
Yeah, exactly right. So Jarrad grew up with them in their pockets, teaching you, like, everything, man. Work ethic, how to read the quokka, how to read the auto trader, Brado. I'm shouting you out here, mate. How to turn like a good... There's so much shit running through my head to talk about now. I've got it all written down, but you guys... used to own a shack at Wedge, right?
Yep.
And that was your fucking life from
Since I was 13 till about 19, 20?
13 to 19, and...
No, it would have been a good 8 or 9 years.
Yeah. And that was nearly every weekend? Every second week, you were fucking up there, dude.
Apprentice wages, mate. I was just up there. I'd have, you know, $10 left to my name by the end of the week.
Still could afford your Jimmy's though, couldn't you, mate?
Yeah. I didn't actually drink Jimmy then.
What? That's a question as well in here. Talking about after 8 o'clock with you and your Jimmy's. Start listening to Bolton and 90s. Shit. That's weird. No, but yeah, that was a big fucking section of your life, Jarrad. That was super important.
Where we're at all the time.
Yeah.
Like Friday Arvo.
Yep.
The mates just, Wedge. You knew. Wedge. Going to Wedge.
And I wanted to also paint a picture for the listeners as well. The shack, like, was not just a rundown shack. There was a lot of money put into it, a lot of effort, a lot of time.
So we looked into getting a shack. I remember as like a 6-year-old, Lanson, used to camp at Lanson all the time. And we drive from Lanson, the old track, into Wedge, which could take 2, 3, 4 hours if you wanted to, depending on
how many drinks.
If you go on the beach or how many drink stops. But I remember going up with the family then, and every time we went to Lanson, it's like, let's go see if there's any shacks for sale up on the board, which used to be, it's still there, next to the nursing quarters.
Yep.
Near the helipad.
Yeah, I remember that.
And used to always go every time Lanson, head up to Wedge, check out, see if anything's there. And we got, after being there so many years, in and out, got speaking to Annie, the local nurse up there, and got along with her really well. And she actually would hit us up when a shack come up for sale. So I remember being at school, come back from, I just started high school, and Nan picked me up early on a Friday, and she goes, your dad and uncles and granddad are gone up to Wedge. Think we might have a shack. So close-knit, weren't you? Yep. Yeah. It's like, awesome. Wicked. And they come back later that night. Yep. Got the shack. Next weekend, not even, and you know what we're like. I know. Yeah, not things in halves. I wish there'd be photos somewhere. I wonder if I can, do you reckon you could get hold of them and I might put them on the video? If I can get them, if I can find them. They'll be somewhere on like a hard drive. Oh, man. Yes, but it was like, I remember the old yard. It was Dad's work ute at the time, their tool truck at the time. Everything loaded Georgie, up. Uncle George, his Effie loaded up. We bought an old BJ42 cruiser, or BJ40. Are they still, FJ40, shorty, but a diesel. Oh, right, gotcha. That, with everything had trailers on the back too, mind you. Mm-hmm. And back then, when you went into Wedge, you had to take the Lanceland to Wedge track. There was no highway. Ah, righto. And once you hit the track from Lanson to head up to like Narrowneck, Wedge Island, it's a sand dune. Well, back then it used to be a sand dune to get up. You know, you got an old
Righto.
Mazda work truck stacked up with that much timber and tin. We got water tanks. We got everything. Heading up this dune, we had Granddad had a decked out 100 series back then.
Yeah.
Winches and fucking snatch straps, and we're towing all these vehicles up. Like Dad had a 1 ton. I'm pretty sure it was a 1 ton. Like an XR8 Ute equivalent thing. Yeah. Loaded full of timber, 2-wheel drive, mate. And
I wish I was filming back then. Yeah. That would have been an interesting entry.
Well, we've got footage and photos somewhere, so it'd be good to dig it all out again.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, that's what it was. So this shack become, I think it was, honestly, it was like a baby blue shed.
Yep.
It was probably like maybe 3 meters wide by 6 or 8 meters long.
Yeah.
This thing turned into, what was it? 1, 2, 3, 4. It's like a 6-bedroom,
veranda,
3-bathroom, big kitchen, massive living area, a couple of sheds out the side.
Timber table out the front. There was like a place to store the generator, like a fucking full commercial generator.
Yeah, we had a big ex-lighting tower, Jenny.
Oh my God.
It was next level for a shack.
That's very special to you, eh? Yeah. That was so special to you.
Oh, within, 3 weekends of going up there, we went from just that little tin shed I was talking about to, But that's the family. We're all hands-on. Yeah. Do all that stuff.
Work hard, play hard. Yeah.
We got it done.
Well, that's perfect. And then now I wanted to tell the story of also how you used to play. Of course, you worked hard there as well, but then how you used to play in the dunes as well. And then I want to hear about that.
Oh, the Troopy story.
Yeah, Troopy. But want to get it's perfect time to check these this gear.
Yep.
And I hope you keep it up with me, mate. Come on, let's do it. So, Jazz, jumping off of what we were just talking about, right? Yep. So, to paint a bit of picture, I think we've painted a pretty good picture of that was everything. That was a big part of your life, right?
Oh, definitely. Yep.
How long did it also... guys, you'll notice listening to this, we have to... I wanted to give you a background of why Wedge is so special and what led to this Troopy story as well. But I also wanted to... There's other questions I have, like how long did it take you to get that shack to where it was and where it is, or where it was when you sold it?
We sold it, yeah. Yeah. So I'm going to say within like the first month of owning it. So we're up there pretty much solidly for the first 4 weekends we had it.
Yep.
And it was, it got to one point, it was, massive. It was huge. And then we used it as it was, got used to it. And then maybe a year down the track, we're like, okay, we're going to add this. And then pretty much from there is how it stayed.
Yeah.
We didn't really do too many more
additions. That's good. You don't stuff with it. Enjoy it.
Yeah. So that was good. After that, started enjoying it. I mean, I was... my license, I was up there every weekend with my mates.
Just knock off Friday, head down Friday Arvo.
So as an apprentice, knock off, work Friday, you'd finish late, and then by the time most of the time I'd try to load up throughout the week.
Yep.
And then, you knew Friday, whoever's in is in, bang, hit the road, go up to Wedge, and you'd spend the whole weekend there. And then it pretty much, I think maybe when I was... just before we sold it, maybe a year before we sold it, we revamped it a bit. Just, pulled out the old carpets, put fresh carpet in.
Yeah, nice.
Redid the kitchen, made it a bit nicer. More maintenance stuff, to be honest. Yeah. But it was unreal, yeah.
I remember coming up. I think I'd been there maybe 3 or 4 times over the whole time that you had it.
Yep.
I remember bringing the Banshee up. And I'm thinking, fuck yeah, this is going to be great in the dunes. Of course, the fucking temperamental thing didn't start that weekend. It would have been something so simple, but I didn't need to have a bike or a 4-wheel drive at the time. I had my VS Ute, dude. Yep. That's how long ago that was.
You ended up getting it going, didn't you?
Yeah,
at the end of that trip, I think the boys...
It would have been at the end, yeah.
Brado and that pulled the plugs out. And
cleaned the spark plug and
carby
fucked around, yeah. But I didn't need a full drive, didn't need a bike and that. It would have been great to have that, but you guys had all that shit there already.
Yep.
And plus, it was such a... Do you know what? It's funny looking back and talking to you about it now, especially with you, man. I reckon you'd relive something beautiful. Legit, like, they were golden days. I've seen photos of you, especially when you post them on Facebook and that, like... You can see
like the memories.
My God.
Yeah.
And do you know what I fucking hate? Is that you can't get those back. You can't. It's
it'd
sad.
be nice to have for my boys. At the same time, Wedge has changed. Like, don't get me wrong, still beautiful, still an awesome place.
But it's not, I don't think, personally, I'm going to say it, man, it was way better back then, man.
Oh, definitely. But
more exclusive.
Obviously now the road's there. What killed it? People coming in, having accidents on the piss. Everyone gets on the piss. Like,
of course.
Yeah. But you just get the wrong crowds up there.
Yep.
And helicopter would come in, and it's just, getting worse and worse.
Yeah.
As that road came in. That's what killed it.
Yeah, it started letting every prick and their dog in. Whereas more exclusive back in the day.
Well, if you wanted to get there in winter, it was don't even bother taking the beach. So it's
treacherous. Fuck, my old man rolled his car. Remember?
Yep.
Shit.
Yep. Yeah. If you take that track easy, trek in.
Yep.
Take your time. Couple of hours up to 3 hours.
But you fucking love it, man.
Yeah.
We love that. That was
shit,
the
experience. And then you'd get people who would just smash it fucking at stupid speeds. Yeah. Oh no, I can do that in 45 minutes. But hey, if you want to put your car through that, no worries.
And some other prick as well that you might hit coming around the fucking corner.
Yep.
Yeah, but that's absolutely perfect. Now I wanted to talk to you, and I wanted to get your feelings around it all. Can you tell us a story of the night you fucking rolled that fucking Troopy, dude?
Yeah.
That's so fucking... I need to preface this as well. Sorry, man. I feel like I'm doing okay with the interruption.
No, you're right. Yeah, go. No, because you're reminding me of stuff.
Jared threatened me before we started. He said, if you fucking interrupt... No, I'm only joking. But you and your family, Steve-O probably especially as well, I back myself with my full driving capability. Steve-O and you... Like, Steve-O's up here because I'd give him my car to... He'd drive it fucking better than anyone I know. And then you're just under him like everyone else. You back your ability. You're fucking unreal full driver. Yeah. But I find comfort in knowing that something like that has happened to you. Like, it sounds fucked. I know it does. It happens to anyone, man. You can be the best fucking full driver there is. Shit can happen, bud.
Yep. Yeah, so as you know, I'd been full driving since I was probably 6. Like, I remember back in the day... Out at the Pines, like Dad, Uncle Steve-O, Uncle Braddo, with their old shorties and mid-wheel bases back in the day, had an old Lard Neva. Sorry, this is going on another whole story. But
dude, lean into it. I love that.
Old Lard Neva. I think the boys picked it up for $100 off this farm property they were working on because they're house transporters. So they're on this farm property. I think they got it for $100 something. Had to jump start it. So 6 years old, trying to learn how to fucking jump start a full drive. But I learned,
Were you in the driver's seat?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Dude.
No, they used to push me around the Nangara Pines. So tie a rubber tire to the front of the bull bars, push me, and then yell out, tell me to drop the clutch. Yeah. So I'd drop the clutch, bang, she'd get going, and that's how I learned to drive clutch. So by the time when I was 6, I knew how to drive clutch. I remember, Dad had an MQ shorty, would throw pillows on the seat. We'd be driving down back when you could do, Yanship, Two Rocks, all that. Piccadilly.
Oh, yeah. Piccadilly, dude. And that brings back good memories.
We'd be driving along the beach. Dad would be, passenger side with a beer, and people would be like, "Oh shit, do we move?" Like a little kid's driving, and he'd be like, "Nah, he's all right, mate. He's all good."
Oh,
and
fuck.
I'll be driving clutch. Then
I love that you're telling
that's how
that.
I learned. That's how I learned.
And do you know what? I'll still fucking stand by that. That's how kids should. I feel like that's how people should learn.
Yep.
I love the fact that Daz was sitting there with a beer.
Yep.
He's. I must preface that as well. He's not fuckwit. He's very switched on. You know what I mean. But I think that's a pure way of teaching your kids. You know what I mean? Like, get in and have a go. I'll be right here if anything goes wrong. I know what to do, you know.
Yep.
So go on, keep going.
Yeah, that's where it started. Like, had the Lardneva, they pushed me around the pines, and went from that. Where'd we go from there? Yeah, 16 L plater. First car was a FJ73, mid-wheel base. Brado had one.
Oh,
and,
that was so beautiful, wasn't it? That was clean, wasn't it?
I wanted to buy his one.
Yeah, I know.
And,
lovely colour.
Yeah, Uncle
Sun
Brado
rages.
said, "Oh, you know, it's still good, mate, but yeah, get your own one that's been, like, obviously he's had it for a long time and put it through its paces." So, and it would have kept going.
No.
But yeah, so we found one at a car yard in Rockingham. I remember going to work with Dad and the boys that day.
So you'd have been 15 or 16.
Yeah. Dad said, "Yep." I think I saved up half, and Dad said he'd put half in. Mm-hmm. So
exactly the way I did my first car as well, though.
It was at Rockingham. We were doing a job not far from there. Dad said, "We'll finish early. We'll get down and get your car."
How
I was
excited.
so excited all day. And typical Dad, love you, but this shop would have closed at like 5. Yeah, like 10 to 5. I might have to get it tomorrow, mate. We're still pushing a bit of daylight. Like,
would have been heartbreaking.
Yeah, definitely. Anyways, I think Uncle Brad or Uncle Steve rang up and said, "No, you can't do that to him. I'll ring the bloke up and see if he can hang around." Yeah, and he did. The old, like, the old school car yards back then.
Yeah, dude. Yeah,
and the bloke hung around till like 5:30. Went in, picked it up, and I was just over the moon. FJ73, 85 model LX. Had like the push button, high 4 button.
Oh, wow,
electric
dude.
windows.
Wow.
I only had 170 original Ks. And then, built that up from there. From that, Steve-O had a troop carrier.
Yeah,
93 model, 4.5, just the petrol, like the same that goes in the 80 series.
Yeah.
But these petrols, mate, especially a manual, just rev like anything. Absolutely love the dirt. So I sold the Shorty and bought that off Steve-O. And that was my first love for Troopies. I'll be honest, like, I used to see Troopies getting around when I had my Shorty and wasn't a fan of them. Just thought they were ugly. And then
grandpa cars.
Yeah, pretty well. And then did Steve-O's one up, and that was started my love for Troopies.
Isn't it crazy how you think back to shit like that and you realise how pivotal their roles were in your life, dude? Like, you don't really stop to think about it.
So lucky.
Beautiful work ethic. But so then you started loving Troopies.
Yep. So I went from that Troopy to I'd started my own business.
Yeah. Chippy.
Roof carpentry. And once started getting, a good name for myself and whatnot. Could actually afford, a nice new car. Not brand new, but I think when I bought the Troopy, I only had 70,000 Ks on it. It was like never owned anything with that amount of Ks.
Yeah.
Like, awesome.
This is brand new.
Yep.
Fucking, I'm a baller.
Yep. So bought that, did that up, and myself and Vic, we've done heaps of trips, like South Australia, all of WA. We've done WA up and down the coast that many times. Northern Territory, you'd see from the other video, the walkthrough.
Yeah.
Decked it out. It was just a touring rig.
Oh, absolute beauty.
And, we had that and, busted my ass to have it. Mm-hmm. And then we'd actually sold the shack and went up to the shack with the boys, like a few mates.
What was that like real quick? Like knowing that you didn't have a shack there anymore, but going back there?
Yeah, it was different. It wasn't the same.
Yeah.
It's like drive past the old shack straight away as you head in there and you're like, oh, shit, can't pull up in there anymore.
Fuck. Bittersweet.
Yeah.
That would have been confronting.
But, you're not meant to camp at Wedge.
Yeah.
But we went for an overnighter.
Yeah.
And
you fished all night though, didn't you?
Yeah. Yeah, that's it. We went up back of the dunes, and I know dunes change with wind and weather and shit like that, but I know those dunes inside out. Up there every weekend. And anyways, sort of started getting late in the night, and the boys like, let's go set up camp. Cool, no worries, I know a spot. On the way there, one of the boys started hitting this dune, and I just had, you know, the exhaust done on the Troopy and all the shit. And I was like, no, I'll give it a crack.
And that was the VDJ, obviously.
Yeah, the VDJ. Yeah. So I thought, no, I'll give it a crack. I knew where we were. Mm-hmm. We were sort of like at the back of the dune, so over this dune would have been shrub.
Yeah.
So,
but it's just testing how high you can get up.
Pretty well, you know, yeah. The other fella got halfway. I think he had a Navara.
Such a male thing, isn't it? Or a full driver's thing that everyone gathers at that one main dune. And I used to love that at Lano. Yeah, that and Pipiddini and getting out, having a beer and watching everyone going up it and, you know, appreciating everyone's freaking driving skills and shit like that.
Yeah,
but so that's it. Was that sort of situation?
Yeah, so it started at that. And I got to the top straight away, no worries.
Yeah.
So, but I knew it was on the other side.
Yeah.
It was drop off to the shrubs.
Yeah. So you're never going to actually go over the top.
No, so I backed off
Yep.
at the top. And my brother will back me 100% in this story, and a few of my mates that were there. As soon as I backed off, the back right-hand wheel just sunk, because it was summertime we went up, just sunk.
Goosebumps.
And I just remember watching the front left-hand side of the bull bar, which had my aerial and that on it.
I'm getting goosebumps.
Started raising, started lifting. And I was like, you got to be kidding me. Like, this is surely a dream. And all I remember, you could just hear it start going further and further. You could see my spotty start raising in the air.
Oh,
all happened so
Batman.
But I just remember grabbing the steering wheel. I didn't have my seatbelt on.
Yeah.
And just pushing myself against the pedals and the seat, like wedging myself in as hard as I could.
Yep.
And it rolled 3 times. This is in the middle of the night.
And on guys, you want to do yourself a favour and watch this video, because we're not talking side rolls.
No.
It's top to tail.
Top to tail, yeah.
That's fucking frightening.
Yeah. So once we got to the bottom and looked up, it was actually a massive dune. I knew it was big dunes out the back there.
But at night it's hard to tell, isn't it?
Yeah. So the first roll, the aerial snapped off. Mm-hmm. Second roll, roof rack come off. Third roll, it landed on its feet. Fuck. It was still running.
Yes, too.
But the inside was just
scattered.
Like angle fridge in the front where I was, like just shit everywhere. I just remember, once it landed, within 2 seconds my door was open. My brother was ripping me out from the side, going like, "Are you alright? I thought you'd be dead." Like, my phone and wallet come out the window. And as we're walking up this dune, scaling it to look for any shit that fell out, like, my wallet's hanging out by that much, my phone, that much.
Do you know who else needs to be, like, congratulated in this story? Like, Justin. Like, how fucking frightened would you be if you seen it? Yeah. You'd be fucking halfway through the first roll, you're sprinting over there.
Yeah.
It'd be fucking terrifying.
Yeah.
Can I ask you, is that just an instinct, or have you heard that somewhere? Why'd you tighten yourself?
Nah, I think it was just instinct. Yeah, because I didn't have the belt on.
You know, fuck thing about when shit like that happens. It's like something when you know, I've done things like I've crashed into another mate's quad or something like that. When something like that happens, you're fucking begging for it not to be. You're like, nah.
Yeah, it didn't happen.
I want to just fucking rewind, like you tighten up and shit like that.
Yep. No, it was scary. And like we spoke about earlier, being forward driving from such a young age, you used to go up and down dunes. You wouldn't make it reverse all the way back down.
No.
You know, at speeds too. And this one just caught me out big time. Like, just sunk in.
That's the comforting part for me.
And there's some definitely some factors that went into it. Had a 60-litre water tank on the back of the rack up top. Troop carrier. They're heavy as it is up top. But to go top to tail...
Oh, that's a steep motherfucker right there. But it didn't help, obviously, that it dug in at the back.
Yeah.
Isn't it crazy, though? Like, this is on topic but off topic a bit. You know, like... For example, a lot of people have that anxiety of going up a dune and not making it and having to back down. I'm so fucking comfortable at backing down for some reason. Are you still comfortable doing that type of shit now? Did it hit your confidence at all, dude?
It did, definitely, for like a good good couple of years.
Fuck,
I
I'm
reckon.
peeling back your layers, dude.
No,
it's so great to hear this.
Good couple of years. I was shocked. Like hated going backwards.
To that spot.
Whereas
interesting, man.
from 6 years old, like Pippardini was
Yeah.
hitting dunes in Little Lardeneva and just come back like not even two thoughts to it.
Fuck.
And then I went from like you'd just pucker up and you like
Yeah.
reverse back a little bit on the
Yeah,
brake,
of
which
course,
is
man.
the worst for it.
Yeah.
You're better off just powering on.
Yep.
But it was like that. You'd go, this a 10-meter long dune. You're like, oh shit, going backwards slow. You're like, oh, this is not what I'm usually like. And then just over time, I guess, it all come back. Not like in the buggy.
I was gonna say
Buggy's completely different.
I was gonna say obviously that confidence is back because of the fucking
Yeah.
angles you were at on the weekend.
And even the truck. I mean, a few people have seen where we put the truck.
Yeah, dude, 100%. Jazz, I'm so fucking glad you've come on here, mate. Honestly, I hope. Well, we've been going now for about 40 minutes. I hope you're still keen to keep going.
I'm probably getting bored.
Nah, fuck no, dude. I've got so much. Well, I don't. Do you know what? I'm sorry, guys. It's going to sound rude. I don't care. I like knowing about this guy. There's so much shit I still want to talk about. We'll talk about your thought process going behind buying the truck. Remember how we had that Arvo, man, on the tinny trip? That was special to me.
Sitting down in the rain.
Yeah, it was fucking amazing. But let me reset this shit, and you crack another beer.
Yeah, I'll be ready for another.
So we just come off talking about how it affected your confidence.
Yep.
And then you started talking to me actually off camera. How you returned. No, hold up. So the aftermath. So mention all that. You know what I mean? Like, so the door was open.
Yeah.
Justin, made sure you were okay.
Just grabbed me out. He goes,
superhuman strength.
Yeah. No, he knew what was in that car, and just from watching the car do 3 rolls, he said to me, I thought you'd be dead.
Jesus
That's
Christ.
what he said.
And can I ask you?
And there was a couple of other boys, like a couple of mates with us, and they said the same thing. They were expecting the worst because they knew I don't full drive with my seatbelt on.
Yeah, and I don't either, man.
I'll be honest, a lot of people don't do.
No, I know. Same here.
And it's one of them things, I guess. Some people have them off because if you get in a sticky situation, you're out.
I always worry about water.
Yeah.
For some reason, I don't know why it is, because we do predominantly freaking coastal shit.
Yep.
So maybe something in the back of my head.
No, so just dragged me out of the car, and then I just remember standing back, my heart just sunk. Just finished building this car, and I put everything into that, worked my ass off for it. And I even remember, hoping it was a dream, but saying the whole way home, like, if it can be fixed, I'm fixing it and I'm keeping it. Like, I'm not going to try and get a insurance buddy write off and all this and that. Like, I want to fix
that
it.
car.
Yeah, I love that car.
Yeah. So, dude, can I ask you? When we did the run through of the car of the Troopy, was it pretty much in the same situation? Yeah, I wanted to know.
So the rollover would have been maybe a year after owning it.
Okay. And did it have all the, the 3 house batteries and shit like that and all the...
No, not at that time.
No.
Not when I rolled it, no.
But it had all the draw system in that?
Not the way that I did it, no. It was a different
one?
setup, to be honest. Yeah, it was...
I should have known.
It had the 11 seats. So back then, had the 11 seats, which I made like a false floor over the seats. Mm-hmm. So that if we were going on like a boys trip and all the boys were jumping in the back, we'll just pull the false floor out.
Yeah. Were they the side facing seat? Yeah.
It had like a draw system down the guts of the seats.
Beautiful.
So if it was just me...
Loaded up.
Angle on one of the seats, and then I did like a massive stereo system box behind the seats. So it was like massive subbies, and then like a lift up cupboard which had like all my cooking gear and pretty big setup. Very different. I haven't seen anything like it. So that's where that was.
Yeah,
then,
I wanted to put that into perspective.
It wasn't decked out like your video.
Yep.
But it was still,
of course,
still decked out.
Yeah.
The rollover, and then when you did your video was just before I was selling it. So after the rollover, that would have been a good 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, gotcha.
Of still having it.
Fuck.
Virtually the top roof was caved in. The side pillars, the Smash Repairers said if the side pillars between the windows
Yep.
were crushed,
Yeah.
it would be a write-off.
Gotcha. What?
But
and they stayed put?
They stayed put. Probably because first impact, roof rack, then the bonnet.
Ah,
and then
interesting.
It probably didn't have a chance to.
Layers.
Yeah, if I didn't have a roof rack, maybe on the first roll, it would have just, first or second roll crushed. But, it all got fixed. It was roof caved in, couple of the side panels, flares. It actually handled pretty well.
Yeah, got you. Did it look like a mess though?
From what I was used to seeing it as, yes. Yeah. But
where did it land? Did it land on wheels?
Back, yeah, it did land on the wheels.
Yeah.
Still running. One of the wheels come off the rim.
Dude.
Yeah, changed the tyre over, limped it back out to the front of Wedge. And I didn't even ring Dad. I wasn't in state. My brother rang Dad and said I'd...
Fuck, I'd be the first person I'd call though.
Yeah, and they still say now it wasn't a nice phone call, not when you get a call at 2 a.m.
Your fucking son. Oh, dude,
Yeah.
I hate that.
And
I hate thinking about it.
so Dad and Steve-O jumped in Dad's cruiser at the time and we've got a car trailer.
Yep.
And picked me up in it at like 4 a.m. by the time they got there.
I'd have been fucking distraught, dude. I reckon I would have been crying like, fuck, man.
Oh, I did, 100%. I bawled my eyes out, like just wrecked, absolutely wrecked.
So you'll cry over that, but you won't fucking cry over the saddest scene in 1883, you prick.
Yeah, I know.
It's crazy, man. It's like we'd need a fucking 9-hour podcast to actually, like, I want the listeners to put themselves in that situation. I'm sure there's many of them who have been in that situation.
Yep.
And guys, if you've been in that situation, email me in. Tell me your bloody feelings. info@wacampingadventures.com.au. But I'm just saying, when shit like that happens, I've had stuff not like that, but different stuff that's very impactful to everything you've worked for.
Yep.
You wake up during the night, even that night. Oh, fucking hell! That'd be a story in its own.
Yeah. By the time I got up, time I got home and then woke up,
you walked outside and probably thought, "Fuck, this is a dream."
Probably got home at like 4:30 in the morning. Woke up at 7:30 and then I was living with Mum and Dad at the time. Walked to the front of the house, could see out the window where the Troopy was backed in on the trailer and like looking out the window going,
no, it's real.
Yep. No, it happened. Wasn't a dream.
Yeah. Oh, fuck, dude.
Anyways, it all got fixed.
Yeah, main thing is you're okay as well. Yep. Fucking hell. Oh, makes you wonder if you didn't prop yourself, what would have fucking happened?
Yeah. Well, if you saw that front seat of what was in there from all my drawers and just crap. That's it.
Bet the angle survived?
The angle survived, yeah.
Still use that to this day, Peter. Oh, fuck, dude. All right. So I didn't expect to go where we went there, which is really great. No, don't apologize, dude. I love that shit. This is a very, very simple question, man, and want you to answer it as best as you can.
Yep.
What does camping do for you? What's camping for in your life?
Just a escape from work. Just a wind down. Just time to do what I did as a kid, really.
That's it.
Yeah,
relive fine memories. You've always fucking loved that shit, haven't you? Frothed it.
Yep.
Best fucking fire lighter I know.
Best at cutting his fingers off too. I didn't cut my fingers off, but close.
Took it like a champ though. Kept going. So just in a something to take your mind off of fucking work and all that shit and all that bullshit.
And it's only gotten better. Like obviously, as a kid, loved it. And then past that point when I was a teenager, go with your mates, do this and that. But now it's even better with my little boys and Vicky. Like Vic's worse than me. She'd be like, "When are we going camping? When are we going somewhere?"
Though.
And it's good. She'll like push me to like, okay, we're going like shit during the week at work. Come Friday, I'm knocking off that bit early and we're going.
Yeah. And you guys work as a bit of a team like that, eh? Vic would probably have it packed.
Yeah, food ready.
I fucking love that attitude, eh? Like, let's go.
Let's
so
go.
exciting. Packing as well.
Yep.
Do you reckon, do you know what I also think that you might feel? You know how you got two boys and you're a part of a family of two boys as well.
Yep.
You reckon you might see that you find yourself sitting in your old man's shoes at maybe what he felt when he seen you guys coming up, the fucking pride, like watching Mason drive the boat.
Yeah,
That's insane, dude.
Yeah.
But it's just normal. You know, a lot of people would look and go, whoa, what's going on there? But it's like, no, it's how you learn.
Yeah.
Dude. So you learn in our family.
Yeah, no one's wrong, no one's right. Everyone's got their own way of raising their kids. But just from the way I was raised, it's like give them a crack. Like, obviously you don't want to see them fall and hurt themselves, but I try not to think about that and just give Mason a crack. Like, got a little inflatable dinghy.
Yeah.
You want to drive, mate? Yep. And just show him, like, this is the throttle, give it a little bit. And, mate, down the lake, I'll just sit there and he'll drive it around.
With a beer.
With a beer. He's a little quad.
Yeah.
Didn't take him long to pick that up.
And now you just bought him a Pee-wee 50, eh?
Yep.
Far out. And was that your first bike?
He better not be real good at listening to your podcast because he'll nut it out for his birthday.
Oh, shit.
No, I don't think
mate.
he wants to listen.
I'm sorry.
Oh, I don't think he would make it this far in anyway.
No, I don't think so either. He'd see my red face and be like that on the TV. Okay, now I wanted to talk. This is something I feel like is big in... You'll see where I'm going here. This is big in the... So while I'm talking, while you're talking, I'm having drinks, so I want you to do the same, okay? Yeah. No, so this is big... Stick with me here. This is big in the YouTube thing, right? So if people will sit back and see that you have a different fucking car every episode, a different boat or whatever, they wouldn't understand what I know about you. And this is why I wanted you to get you on the podcast, because it's a lot different than what people might assume. They might assume that, oh, what the fuck? He's got fucking money. What a cockhead. You know, honestly, dude, you know that. That's what naturally is in this YouTube bullshit, right? So... There's a fucking big old story, and there's a couple of questions that'll cover this one, right? So I'll remind myself, but if you remember as well, that'd be good. So you said in one of my tinny trips, right? The tinny trips that we've been on where you're like, you know, you don't just fucking buy that boat or you don't buy that car. And a lot of people that'll serve for this as well. And people shouldn't hate on people who have nice shit as well. There's a fucking story behind all that, isn't there, Jazz? You know, like it's not that... You know, yeah, okay, you've got a fucking Can-Am side-by-side. Yeah, no worries, but I've worked my fucking ass off for it. And you've also had that culture in your family, dude, where you've grown up like, okay, so I remember you back as like a young teenager, always having a different car as well, because you've done it, you've bought it for cheap, you've done work on it, you've sold it for a little bit more, and then rolled that, and you and Justin rolled that shit into the next one, right?
Yep.
And... I'll mention also after we've spoken about this, you know, where you might have gotten that inspiration from. I want to talk about Braddo, but tell me about that. Like, how did you learn all that type of shit, and where do you think you got it all from? Just tell me about that. I'm fascinated.
100% be Dad, my Uncle Braddo, and Uncle Steve-O.
Yeah.
And my granddad, 100% as well.
Yeah.
So I've been working with them virtually most weekends since I was about 6 years old, and they'll piss themselves laughing. They remember, you know, rocking up, and when you're little, you know, you grow real quick. Yeah. Like rocking up to work, and Mum put me in pants that were meant to be pants that ended up being like 3/4 pants.
Short longs.
Yeah, and then they were working out in some bloody country town, and they bought me a pair of proper work boots because I had just the old shitty things from Kmart or something. Like, no, he needs a proper pair of work boots. I just went to work with them virtually most weekends as a kid growing up. To me, it was fun. And then it was like, I think, as the years got on, got a little bit older and a little bit smarter. I think I remember sitting in the car with Dad one day and going, "Oh, Dad, I get $5 a day, like working a full Saturday."
Jesus. Darren, we're going to talk about this. No, and
I was like...
Good man.
The boys will do like 10, 12, like I'm going to say 12 hours minimum, but they'll do massive days. And I'm like, "Dad, that's about 50 cents an hour you're paying me." and he had a laugh. And he goes, "Yeah, right, yeah, no, okay, yeah, we're going to have to bump your pay up, mate." Because, you know, I would, even as a little kid, get under
question it.
And no, I'd get under the houses and go for it. Whatever they wanted done, I'll do it. Wasn't like, "No, I'm not doing that, Dad." It was just, "Okay, yep, give me a job, let's do it." So when I was 6, right through to, you know, I wanted to work with the boys coming out of school. I had a gut full of school, year 9. Not that I had shit grades or anything, had decent grades, but come year 9, I was like, just can't be bothered with school anymore.
Yeah. Fuck, there's nothing wrong with that, though, is there? Honestly, even if my daughter come up to me, it's like, if you don't enjoy school, then I'd rather pay for you to put your mind somewhere where you want it to be, you know?
I knew I wanted to do a trade.
Yeah. Oh, really?
I knew I wanted to work with my dad and uncles. That's what I wanted to do.
And fuck, you still do, eh?
I do, which is awesome. Close. Yeah, which I love. It's funny, you're working harder days and longer days and doing more, but to me it's fun, but just because the banter, like...
Of course. Fuck, how much have we spoken about this?
We're going like shit, but you're having fun, you're having a laugh together.
Camaraderie.
You're pulling up on the side of the road in the middle of bloody nowhere, and it could be the crappiest part of the country, but we've spoken about it before. It's golden now. Yeah. Like, it literally, as soon as that sun goes down, you're like, if you drove through middle of the day, you go, who would pull up here? I wouldn't even bother. Yeah. But as soon as that sun starts setting, you get the fire going, we're having a barbie over the fire and having drinks together and just having a laugh. You just can't replace that. And that's why I wanted to work with the boys since I was little. But they said to me, go get a trade.
Yeah,
you do a trade, and then once you've done your trade, you can do what you want. I'm so lucky I did the trade that I'm in.
Yeah.
I wouldn't change it. Yes, I still work with the boys every now and again, and I'd love to work with them full time. But realistically, the trade that I'm doing is
booming
at the moment.
It's worldwide. You can do it anywhere in the world, man.
And it's got me where I am now.
Yeah.
And then not just from that, you wanted to go into buying and selling stuff.
Yeah.
Learn that.
Wheeling and dealing.
We learned that from the boys.
Yeah. Come on, you're going to mention Braddo. Because I remember every time I see Braddo, he's... it's so hard because this
VIP
podcast...
country.
Yeah, dude. This podcast is not long enough to explain the impact that those guys have had on you, eh? Like, they'd give you the fucking shirt off of their back to make sure you're okay. And you're like that as well, man. You are. I've always respected that.
They're my best mates.
Yeah, 100%, man. Yeah. They're great. They're great fucking people. But can I tell you a story? I don't know if I've told you this before, but Braddo and Steve, I hope you guys are watching this. And listeners and viewers, this will paint a perfect picture as to what that whole family is like. So, dude, my first car, Bundera, Toyota Land Cruiser Bundera, right? My old man, we got home from work one day. I was labouring. I would have been labouring at the time. So all day he'd say like fucking, I've done my...
Doing what you're doing now.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm fucking happy as shit too, dude. But I was in that learning phase, right, where I work your ass off. I'd done my year's worth of just nothing but labouring, that's it. Then I was on the trowel, that type of bullshit, right? Got home one afternoon and I've always... For the previous months, I've been talking to Dad about, Dad, I really want to get a car. What do you think of this one? I was in the Auto Trader and, the in the Crocker at that time and trying to show him all that shit. And this would have been all during those Pipperdini days. I used to go with Mitch and all that.
Yep.
And anyway, one afternoon, got home and I opened the shed up. Dad backed his car in and he goes, he said something trivial like, can you, grab fucking a brace off the trailer or something like that. I opened up the other side of the garage. And the fucking Ford, the Bundera's sitting there, right? That Bundera would be worth, I don't know, I think he paid $2,700 for it back in the day.
Yeah.
That was fucking my world, dude. I will never, ever erase that from my memory. My happiest day of my life nearly at that time. Sorry. Yeah. I've got 2 daughters, you fucking idiot. No, but...
at that age.
That joy, dude, is absolutely insane. But the reason I wanted to mention that is because... Steve-O and Braddo had gotten... So it was the other yard that you guys had in Bayswater.
Yep.
Yeah. So they said to me, come around and, show us it. And I was like, wicked. I'd love to come and have a look, show you guys, and they rang me before I'd even left. They rang me like straight back and said, Steve-O was like, look, we found a set of tyres here for you, $400. They're like BF goodies on grey rims. And I was like, look, I've sort of paid my half to Dad and I really haven't got anything else. I'll be honest with you, I can't afford them. They're like, nah, all good. No worries, mate. We'll find you a good pair. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
In that 2 hours that it took me to knock off work and head over to the yard, I don't suppose you know this story?
No, I'm pretty sure. Oh, I know the story, but I'm pretty sure I was there as a little kid.
Yeah. They went and picked them up.
Yeah.
And I got to the yard and they had them sitting there for me. And I can't explain to you. And you would have copped this all the time, but it was so beautiful for me because they didn't fucking have to do anything like that. I just wanted to show them my car, you know. But I got up and the tyres are stacked there. It's a big fucking expense for me, you know. And they didn't. They bought them for me, man. Yep. That's what it was. And rocked up and the wheels are stacked up and Steve-O's like, you know, waving me in to the yard. And I just remember fucking smile from dial to dial. They put them on for me, tested the turn, you know, the steering arch. Yeah, and
back then wasn't worried about bloody
balancing
wheels. Drove like shit anyways.
Oh, exactly right, dude. But that's the type of guys that they are, all of them. They're fucking beautiful.
And they weren't born into money either.
No, like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, sorry, man. If there's shit I'm not making clear, you make it clear. But a lot of people assume that about you. A lot of people assume that about them. But no one fucking... I don't assume that about any prick that I don't know because no one knows the hard shit that's gone into all the fucking heartache and all that bullshit. You know?
I remember, was it 18? Started my own business. So many.
Fuck, dude! Didn't we speak about that the other day at the pub? We were like, "Fucking," I think, how am I going to do this job? How am I going to do this job? Yeah. But go on. How did they help you?
I remember rocking up and just like the older trades, going like, even just coming up like, "Oh, where's the boss? You're the apprentice." Yeah. You'd be like, "No, I am the boss."
Yeah,
like,
I'm the boss. Yeah. It's me.
Doesn't help me. Like 18, looking 14. Still.
Yeah. Your hands give it away, though. It's like shaking hands with a fucking baseball mitt.
No, but then, people would just be like, "Oh, Dad paid for that. Dad paid for that." It's like, at first it used to get to me, being younger, like,
chip on your shoulder, wanting to prove it.
Now it's just, whatever, mate.
Yeah.
Don't need to explain it to you. Fuck, I've been there, I've done that.
You
we
don't
spoke
know
to at the
me.
pub that day.
Yep.
You have anxiety about these massive jobs when you're young, taking them on. But you get them done, and you're like, okay, I can do anything now.
Yeah, and your confidence just fucking builds, though, doesn't it?
And I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing if I did a shit job.
Yeah.
Wouldn't be where I am, so...
Hey, fuck. Yeah. You have to go through that bullshit, don't you?